I was born July 6, 1915.
This is the house in Proctor where Oscar Baertsch was born 107 years ago. It wasn't far from the family's homestead in Hog Heaven.
My mother went up from Hog Heaven up there for me to be born.
In 1920, the Baertsches moved permanently from Hog Heaven to Proctor. Oscar would grow up in Proctor, free, exploring the open country.
We was kind of like cowboys.
NBC Montana sat down with Oscar and his son Gary Baertsch to talk about Oscar's life during the Great Depression.
What was it like to get a job because there were so many people without work?
Well, it was pretty tough.
What Oscar talks about most is the jobs he had.
On my hands and knees and thinned in sugar beets. 10 cents an hour, but I got my board and room.
In those days, going to high school was an achievement for many young people. Oscar was determined to get his diploma. When he was 15, he got a job with a telegraph company in Helena.
And I worked there all summer, and I wanted to go to high school. So I quit, and I come back to Polson and went to high school.
At 16, jobs took him from Helena to Great Falls to Missoula and back to Polson. He traveled cheap.
On top of a boxcar, I rode. And I hung on for dear life.
In 1934, Oscar got a job building the first oil road from Polson to Pablo. He drove the service truck.
Till school started, and then I had to quit, because I was a senior then.
Out of high school at 18, Oscar got the job he talks about most, helping to build Kerr Dam. In the Great Depression, this was a coveted, if dangerous, job.
I loved that job. And we worked 7 days a week. And I had a pretty big check.
In 1938, Oscar says the dam laid him off along with 300 other men.
And then I happened to get married.
Oscar and Eileen moved to Cody, Wyoming to work on a canal. From there, Oscar got a job in Collins, Montana, grain country.
I drove the truck hauling all the grain to the elevators.
From there, he rented a farm in Charlotte. He loved that life.
It's just really a good life. And I come back to Polson, and I went to work with a carpenter. We built the plywood plant.
He rose to foreman at the plywood plant in Polson, overseeing more than 40 men until it closed. Then he went into carpentry.
Down at Missoula, I had a job down there, and so went down, and I fell off of the concrete wall, 8 foot, and broke my back.
After recovery, he continued carpentry and worked at a sawmill. He retired when he was 62, built a new house, and opened a new chapter of work.
I had this place, I had cattle, I had about 17 cows, I rented 10 acres over here.
Then his wife Eileen got sick.
I sold all my cattle. I had to look after her.
Eileen died in 2005. Today, Oscar lives alone. It's his choice.
This is his home. Yeah.
Up until last June, I drove a car.
Gary, who's 83, loves telling the story of Camp Tuffet at Lake Mary Ronan.
Camp Tuffet has got a sign posted up there that says if you turn 80 and you bring a parent, you get a night's lodging. So we took advantage of that.
The next year, Oscar's other son, Clint, got free lodging with his dad. Oscar, it seems, takes life in stride.
He told us, you know, about being loyal to each other and to friends and neighbors, and treat everybody equal.
This is what he credits his long life to.
Doing things, working hard.
Oscar is like a living oral history book of Lake County history, with 107 years of memory. That's precious stuff. Kevin Mackey, NBC, Montana.